guys, Felicia here. So before we start the show, I just want to ask you guys to help us make sure that we're creating content you really, really want to hear, and make sure we stay on topics that you need help with. And we want to make sure we're giving you practical tips, tricks, and tactics that you need for your career journey and to get where you're trying to go. And so we have a survey that we would like for you to do. It should only take about 5 minutes. There's going to be a link in the show notes for you to do our survey. If you are on our email list, you'll also get an email reminding you to please do this survey so that we make sure we're giving you the best content possible, and making sure that if we have any advertisers, that they are advertisers that are speaking to your specific needs, and that we promote things that are going to truly help you and not just be for some commercial gain, because that's not what we're about over here. We are here at the Trill MBA Show to help you really, truly skyrocket your career in all the ways that make you whole and happy and healthy and prosperous, because we about these bags, okay? All right, let's start the show. Hey guys, so what had happened was the holidays got in the way. There is a season finale episode, but clearly you're listening to this now, so you already know it didn't come out on December 31st as planned. Hey, life be life and stuff happens. It was a holiday. I chalk it up to the game. It's my fault. I didn't get my stuff together. But Chris has masterfully edited this awesome conversation I had with my B-School bestie, Tiffany Samuels. And we just talk about what we want in this new year of 2024. So it's a great episode. You're going to get the giggles and stuff. We was up here acting a fool in the studio in Los Angeles. So enjoy, get the gems. And I hope your new year is off to a fantastic start. And we are in the kitchen cooking up season 8. That will be dropping in a couple weeks. So I hope you guys are having a new year. I hope you are chasing every bag you deserve. And let's start the show. Welcome to the Trill MBA Show. I'm your host, Felicia and Rose Anuha, aka the Trillest MBA you will ever know. And I'm here to help you survive and thrive in corporate America by giving you the truth and being as real as only I can be. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome back. Guess what? It's the last show of the year. 2023 is a wrap, my friends. Thank you for rocking with us. I have a very, very, very special guest for this last episode of the year. My B-School bestie. One of the best people I've ever met, ever known. Truly my sister from another mister. Tiffany Samuels, everybody. Yay. Tiffany, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's been a minute.
I know.
Thanks for having me.
The first episode that you and I did together is one of the most listened to episodes of the podcast. Still, yeah, to this day.
Look at God.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's always fun.
Yeah, I've been trying all year to get you back.
Yeah. I've aged since that time. I've aged.
I mean, it was 6 years ago.
Jesus. Was it 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I have aged.
Yeah. Because we talked about
career breaks
and strategies and Chick-fil-A, something. I forget. I'll link the shows you've been in the show notes so people can go back and listen to the shenanigans. If you like these shenanigans today.
No, I'm going to be on good behavior today.
Why? We're in studio. This is the time to act up.
It's so official.
Because you're on video this time.
I don't even know how to act. I don't know where to look. Like the lighting. This is great. But I'm going to try to keep it together and be my most professional self on the Trill MBA.
When are you not professional?
Most days, but that's okay.
Listen, so Today is more, we're going to celebrate. This is the last episode of season 7.
Congratulations.
Season 7 seasons. The first season isn't on the podcast because it was on an internet radio show called DFWI Radio.
I remember that.
Yeah, I was living in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I would record or we would go live. We were live on the internet. We would stream on the internet. And I would drive an hour every Monday. I was like,
wow. I so remember that.
Yeah, we got to do something different.
And now look.
And now we are 7 years in. So we are going to do some reflecting. We're going to do some celebrating. And then we're going to do some planning. Like we're going to talk through how we are going to approach 2024.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to talk about in this episode. So for those who don't know, Tiffany hails from Atlanta, Georgia at the moment. She's from Ohio, okay?
You're messing up my swag, okay? Carry on.
She claims Atlanta now.
I mean, yeah, that's where my taxes go.
Yeah. And I visit frequently. I don't pay them, though. I'm a Texas resident.
Right, yeah.
Currently, we're in studio in Los Angeles, California. Shout out LA. And you're on vacation for once.
I know. Talk about lessons learned. Yeah.
I'm proud of you, dog. I'm proud of you. But as you think about this year, what do you think your biggest takeaway has been from the year? In the vein of, because, we got to be corporate. So in the vein of, what would you, if you could go back and do it over, what would you stop doing? What would you have started doing? And then what would you like, oh, no, I need to continue to do that?
Oh, my gosh. I love a good framework.
Listen.
That's good.
Sprinkle.
Yeah, stop. Razzle dazzle. Stop, start, continue. Okay, great framework. Gosh, if there was anything that I should have stopped doing and actively working to stop, it's this whole idea of second guessing, self-doubt, ever questioning my seat at the table. Because we know, especially as Black women, when we get these positions in any of these corporations or any nonprofit or governmental organization, it is not a charitable gift. It is because we come with over the amount of credentials that's needed. And so I think back to many times where I probably didn't fully own my seat at the table. So that's something that I'm actively working to stop. The start will probably be approaching work with a little bit more intentionality, especially around building the relationship wall. I know you talk about that a lot on the podcast. It's one thing to come and do good work. And of course, that's table stakes. But like if you're trying to really think about long-term growth in your career, you really have to be intentional with the relationships. And so that's something I want to start. And then the continue would be self-care. As cliche as that may sound, it may sound like an overused term, but it really isn't. It's super important. So even this vacation is a form of self-care. Yes. I've been notorious for not taking my PTO, but I'm trying to be very diligent about that. And a pro tip that my old boss gave me, love her, by the way, she actually takes a day off each year and goes off-site somewhere. And she plans out the following year. So she will literally plot out all the PTO that she's going to take for the upcoming year. And even if she doesn't have a plan for it, just having it on the calendar is a huge step. So I want to implement that before the year is out.
Yes. And if you want to implement that, like you want to take like January 1st or the last, couple of days of the year, and you want to plan out your time for the year to take off, your paid time off, then there are these TikTokers and they have mapped out how you can maximize your time off to get more days by using like federal holidays and weekends. And, a lot of times a holiday, it'll be observed on a Friday or a Monday. And so if you strategically take off the next day or days adjacent to those days, then you have a longer time off because you tacked on your PTO to a holiday. And so they go through the whole calendar and they kind of help you work that out. So I just Google or go to social media. If I find something I really like, I'll link it in the show notes for the show. But I encourage you to do that, right? So you don't have to think about it too hard. You don't maybe not need a whole day. I think your old boss has like this whole big family and, so she has to plan, she's not just plan for her, but she's got to plan kid activities and, she's married. So I got to plan wife activities and I got to plan, right? Like I got to plan a bunch of stuff. I think the great thing about us being solo dolo, I mean, it's just you. So
well, speak for yourself. I do need to plot out Hot Girl Summer 2024.
Oh, are we doing Hot Girl Summer?
I mean,
listen, remember,
it might be called something else now. I don't know.
But remember when it was like February 2020?
We had such high aspirations.
I
Needless
mean,
to say, it didn't quite go according to plan.
It's really,
okay, though.
You know, sometimes I wonder if I caused the pandemic because I had this heathenist plan for Atlanta summer 2020. Like,
and God knew.
I mean, I had found these plus size booty shorts.
Oh, you was about to be outside.
Man.
Oh.
Listen.
Oh.
I was gonna have titties out, everything.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna like really go for this body positivity shit.
Is
like
this a corporate podcast? Or is this
yeah, but I gotta. I mean,
way?
I'm the Trill MBA. Like what?
That's true. This is on brand. You're right.
You're
right. This is on brand.
I had plans because we were in Atlanta. I had plans, and God said, "Nope, sit your ass down."
A whole panorama.
Said, sit your ass down. No, that's not what I have in store for you. And I was like, but why, God?
But 2024, I have to clap.
I don't even want to say it. I'm scared. And I'm scared because it's an election year.
That's a whole. I don't even want to think about it. I need to prepare my heart and mind for that. I feel like we just went through this.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus be offense.
But for me, I think my start, stop, continue is more around my mental approach, right? Like more about managing my emotions, managing my perspective, managing my expectations. I'm really, really hard on myself. So that's something I need to stop doing. I need to stop being so hard on myself. I need to start recognizing my wins.
Amen.
Because when you're hard on yourself, like people come to the studio and they're like, oh my God, you've built blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Like this is dope. Like, I'm like, okay, I feel so official that I don't even know how to sit. This is really nice. This is really nice.
And I'm proud of how far I've come.
Should be.
I think I get stuck on where I'm trying to go. And, I'm not a journey person.
And I tell you that all the time. The destination is important, but the journey is actually far more important. I know.
And then my response in my head, I don't say it out loud, but my response in my head, y'all, is journey.
It's growth.
I know, growth. But I'm starting to embrace the journey, though. I don't know. I was playing it when I was getting dressed yesterday. I don't know if you heard it. Her has this song about the journey. Have you heard that song?
I don't know.
I'll play it for you after the show. Yes, I am a fan of her
great.
for sure. Shout out to her. I don't know her, but if I ever meet her.
Shout out to her. Yeah.
And I play it and I'm like, yeah, like I need to embrace this. I think for a lot of times I am kind of in a bittersweet mode. I'm trying to figure my way out of that, right? And I mean, we understand, like, when you lose your parent, your significant parent, it's just like, nothing seems, like, good things are happening, but it's like this dullness about it.
Yeah.
So good things are happening in your career, and it's just like, okay. Like, because the person you would call to say, guess what? They don't answer the phone no more.
That's real.
Yeah. So I'm working on the mental perspective part of that so that it's not bittersweet, but just sweet. Just accept the sweet. So I'm going to start doing that. And then I'm going to continue to hustle. Like, I had a moment where I was like, I'm going to quit. I mean, I'm always quitting the podcast. I don't know if y'all know that out there. Like, I'm always quitting. Like, every week I quit the podcast. Every week. And then one of y'all sends me an email.
Keep doing it, y'all.
Saying, hey, Felicia, I love the show. Did it help me get this promotion? Or you just da-da-da-da? And I'm like, oh. And then I look at it like proverbial eye roll to God. And I'm like, fine.
But you're doing his work. You should look at it that way.
I do. A lot of times, even when this podcast gets me in trouble.
That's neither here nor there.
But yeah, I'm going to continue to do this work, right? And make it bigger, better. What is it? Fewer, bigger, better?
Mm-hmm. Iterate to great.
Iterate to great. Yeah. I'm going to iterate to great.
There you go.
I'm going to iterate to great. And definitely we have some good things in store for the podcast next year. So I'm excited. I am excited about it. Now, if I could just land a little jobby job real quick, that would also be helpful. Because, all this is costly.
I mean, I can tell it's
expensive.
It is.
It's expensive.
You got expensive habits?
Always.
Okay.
I came out the womb with expensive habits. I just didn't know. I wasn't aware because I was born into poverty.
But it was always in you.
Always. I say that, but I don't really gravitate towards designer clothing.
But see, everybody has their own kind of bougie, though. It's not always just designer clothing. Like, I'm bougie about bottled water, but I drive a hoopty. Like,
you do like your Fiji and your Avion.
I do. What else am I bougie about? Probably hotels. Like,
oh yeah,
I don't want to stay in like a crappy hotel.
Yeah, like, I mean, although, like, if you get a new Holiday Inn Express,
that's fine.
Them things be nice.
Yeah.
And affordable. And then sometimes not affordable according to what city you're in.
Yeah, if it's a high cost market.
Yeah. Like, I'd be like, you a Holiday Inn? You got the nerve to be $300 a night. What's wrong with you?
That's right.
And then the Four Seasons be $1,000 a night. You'd be like, oh.
You stay my behind at home now.
Listen. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start doing that. So listen, guys, we're going to take a quick break. Give you a quick, commercial. Not about Kirkland's signature finest.
I feel like you need to call Costco.
Costco has not paid me. Yeah. But if you work at Costco and you listen to this and you want to support diverse voices, I am here because I love this water. Okay.
This needs to be...
This is my favorite water.
Yeah.
This Kirkland signature. I call it Kirkland's finest signature, and I know that's not the name.
But I like that. That would be a good rebranding.
I know, but it's Kirkland's signature ionized alkaline. I'm not telling people go buy it right now. When they hire me, then I'll tell you to go buy it. I'm just saying right now, I drink it. I'm just saying. But we're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, we're going to talk about our wins for the year.
Okay.
I'm excited about that. We got some good wins for this year.
Okay.
When we get back. Hey guys, listen, the year's over. I need y'all to fill out this survey. Now, I done asked y'all. But no, for real. Please fill out the survey. Even my friends, I need y'all to fill out the survey. Because some of y'all ain't filled out this survey. You know how I know? Because your email ain't in the survey respondents. Please fill out the survey, guys. Why? Because that helps me figure out, one, what you want to listen to on this show. Next year, we're going to bring bigger, better guests. Next year, we're going to have more topics to help you advance in your career. But I need to know what problems or issues or concerns that you're going through so that we can craft the content to address that to help you get to where you're trying to go in your career. Okay? So fill out the survey. It takes like 3 minutes. It'll help us greatly to help you. Okay? This is really about you. It's not about me. It's about you. Okay? So now, let's get back to the last show of the year. All right, Tiffany. Did you enjoy my commercial break?
It was good. And I'm going to take the survey because I don't want you,
Yeah, I know you ain't took it
popping
yet.
off on me. I don't need that energy.
I know you ain't took it yet because your name wasn't on the list.
Okay, I'm going to take it.
I'm watching.
I will.
All right, Tiffany. 12 months ago was January of 2023.
It's crazy to even think.
It was a new year.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been at your company now.
At that point, it would have been 3 years.
Coming up on 3 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time to be in one place.
I know.
You know, if I was your career coach, I'd tell you need to leave.
But what if you actually really like the place? Then what?
Well, then I'd be like, did you get promoted? And then you'll say, yeah. And then I'm like, okay, well, we working on the next promotion or the next rotation. Like, what's next? And knowing your career situation, I wouldn't tell you to leave, right? Like, you're doing good.
Do your listeners know that this is how we interact all the time? Every
No.
day that we interact, it's like this.
I don't think they
don't
understand.
know. Okay.
I think people probably think that my friends are like MBAs that are straight laced and very polished and put together. And
I think I'm those things.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
But I think people think I'm just the hooligan outlier.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Right. Birds of a feather.
Yeah. Because I like shenanigans.
Yeah. All my friends like shenanigans. Even Tia. I think.
Oh, she's hilarious.
But she doesn't even know it.
Which makes it even funnier. Yeah, her comedic timing is really, really good.
On point.
On point.
And she'd be like, I know, I'm serious.
And it makes it even funnier.
Right.
Yeah. Cutest human ever.
Oh my God. Again, another person in Atlanta. So this was a good idea in my head. It is a good idea because you are awesome. So something I need you guys to know about Tiffany. Not only is she my best friend from business school, like my little sister, before she leaves here, she's going to have a key to the studio. She doesn't know that yet. But I also have a key to her house.
Touche.
She's my emergency contact at times. It's either you or Rosalind.
And I like Roz.
Yeah, that's my cousin. But Tiffany and I really think it's a sisterhood that goes beyond commiserating about working in corporate.
Yes. They have started with that, but it's so much more.
Yeah, I think when you have friends who are free to be themselves, you're free to be yourself, and then you can help each other grow, that's your friend. And your friend that'll, keep you honest, keep you accountable, remind you of your good days when you're having a bad day, remind you of how far you've come when you forget, Mm-hmm. That's the type of friendship we have. And it's been a many a days that, I really didn't think I was going to make it. Like, I really didn't. And you would pick up the phone.
That means a lot.
Yeah. It's just good to feel understood, seen, heard, right? And supported. And, as far as celebrating in 2023, so January 2023 to now, what are you most proud of that you've accomplished this year? First in your career and then in your personal life.
So 2023, full year of being a people leader. Oh. And that's a whole thing, right? Yeah. It is a lot. I mean, that's a whole other episode in and of itself.
Yes, baby.
But I think I'm really proud of the people leader that I've grown to be. I think there's a lot of work still, right? And I care deeply for the people on my team. Like, I really want them to succeed. And being able to see them succeed and take on work where they were like, Tiffany, I don't think I can do this. And I'm like, yes, you can. And I got your back. I'm your consultant on the side. Like, I got your back. I will be in front. If they come out with daggers, I will take them. But when it's time for the shine, I want you to be out in front. And so that's kind of my leadership philosophy. But just being able to see the growth of people on my team. And it's not all because of me. Like, they're wonderful people to begin with. But I think that's probably the biggest career win, is being able to walk away and say, yeah, like, I actually do think I have the people leader chops, but not everybody does. And that's a whole episode. Like,
right. And yes, I think because you do have a servant heart, right?
Yeah, I do.
And you are very considerate. And sometimes I get worried that I am not considerate enough when I'm around like you and Bernadette. I was like, okay, because, I'm only a child. So I have to work at consideration sometimes. Yeah. I mean, I'm a natural giver. Like, I'm very giving, and I always want to help. Mm-hmm. But there are times where I'm not cognizant, right? And I just like, oh, you wanted Chick-fil-A too? My bad.
But I think in a people leader context, like, I would work for you in a heartbeat. Oh, I would.
That'd mean so much to me.
I would. Because I think, I would always know where I stood. Yeah, but I know that I would have someone who would have my back. And that means
I would cuss people out for you.
Yeah. And that's part of the reason why I really like where I'm at, right? Yeah. Because I was blessed with a manager who really had our back. Like, and not just for the sake of the work, but at the end of the day, like, she cares deeply about us as just human beings. Right. Like, I cannot tell you the number of times she was like, you need to take your PTO.
Yes.
Or you need to take care of you. Like, if you don't want to take meetings until 10 so you could go to Orange Theory, do it. I support you. And
Amen.
so actually she taught me a lot just by example of what it means to be a good people leader.
Good.
Because I want the people to say, they don't have to say that Tiff was my favorite boss. They don't say any of that. But if they could say she cared about me, that's a win.
That's a win.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Because I think it does hurt when you care about your people, but it doesn't translate for them.
Right. And
that's
that can
painful. Yeah. Okay, what about personally?
Personal. So speaking of Orange Theory, I'm actually proud of myself for being consistent with freaking Orange Theory. Because y'all know how it is. You go to the doctor, something's wrong, you're tired, you're stressed. What's the things they're always going to say? You need to eat better. You need to exercise. You need to manage your stress and sleep. I am bad at all four of those.
Same.
Terrible. But I am proud of myself for sticking with Orange Theory and like having the discipline. Because the other three are not in check, I have not become like Beyonce-fied, I'm working on it.
I mean, it's looking pretty snatched.
I'm trying to suck it in. I'm trying to suck it in.
I see the dunk back there. Y'all can't see it, but I see it. Boots hide it. Bootylicious, baby.
I can't with you.
My body's so bootylicious. Fun.
Let me know when you're done. Are you done? Or are you finished?
Is you done or is you finished?
But no, I'm proud of myself for actually sticking with it. And I know for some people that might be like, okay, but that's a big deal for someone who's never been disciplined in the world of fitness ever. And so I probably will incorporate other things in 2024, but just sticking with it, that's a win.
That is a win. Yeah. And I'm so proud of you. I know it's hard because it's hard for me. This time last year, I started working out. I got a personal trainer. I also had a job then.
Makes a difference.
But I was doing the dang thing for 9 months straight. Like I was really consistent, at least 4 times a week in the gym, go walking outside, all the things. And perimenopause is a bitch.
Yeah, I hear it's no fun.
It is not. It is, you know how horrible it is to have to be at work, have a meeting at like 8 a.m., even though it's remote. But you waking up every hour on the hour in sweats. And then add on top of that, somewhere in there, your mind is thinking nasty thoughts and you're single.
You thirsty?
No, I'm not thirsty.
You parched?
The face card.
Never declines.
Never decline.
No.
But I'm particular, which also equals a little parched.
I need for you to be particular because it's a lot of craziness in the wild right now in that department. So please stay particular.
Oh, no. With them super gonorrhea signs everywhere?
Child.
Sober you up. Between that and my cousin just having a little baby?
No. It's too much.
Girl. I was like, oh, this is great birth control. Thank you.
Yeah, it's too much.
She get the holler. I'm like, hey.
That's what they do.
I mean, she's demanding.
I mean, we were when we were babies.
I wasn't.
Oh, I'm sure you were probably the most demanding baby.
There's nobody here to confirm or deny, so I can say I wasn't.
I can call Rosalind right after this podcast.
You know what? Anyway, point is, I'm proud of you. That is a win. I am proud of myself for going to the gym. That's a win.
I'm proud of you.
I think from a work standpoint, I am proud that I am taking chances in my career. I am proud that I have built this so far. And even though there's more to go, we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on what I've accomplished. We have lights, camera, and action. So maybe not the action I would like, but that's neither here nor there.
Cannot with you.
You love me though.
I do.
But I'm very proud of the start of this part in my career journey. I'm very proud of that. And I've working with my therapist, plural.
Look.
So I got to.
I'm with it.
To really celebrate. And so something I really will be focusing on in the new year, because something that, one, we don't do for ourselves, but two, as Black women in particular, ain't nobody trying to celebrate us in spaces.
And so yourself.
We have to encourage ourselves. We have to encourage each other to celebrate. I never forget the first time, it was last year, so it was 2022, and my therapist said to me, you have to celebrate. You have to congratulate yourself. And I was like, for what? Like, legit. I was like, for what? And she was like, anything. I mean, look at what you do. You're getting out of bed in the morning. Like, you should pat yourself on the back. Tell yourself, good job. Give yourself a gold star kind of a thing. And she was like, well, what do you do if you were a child, like when you're children? And I was just like, but that's what you're supposed to do. And it just really hit me. She was like, doesn't mean you don't celebrate getting things done that you're supposed to do. You still celebrate it. You finish a project at work, it goes well, you celebrate it. You're supposed to do the project. And I just was like dumbfounded. Like I couldn't wrap my mind around this idea that I was to be celebrated for accomplishing what I thought, well, I'm supposed to do it. I'm supposed to be great, excellent. I'm supposed to be the best. I'm supposed to this, and that. And, I'm real easy to criticize myself, but it's really hard for me to sit back and be like, look what you've done. This is great.
I have so much to say on that. First, like I remember when you started out as a blog. I think you might have been still in business school or...
No, it was my first year. It was my first year.
Yeah.
And I found it on this archive thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I have to show it to you.
The blog was everything though. Like I was waiting for the blog drops or whatever you call them. I think you did them like once a week.
Yeah.
And they were good.
And I stopped doing them because I got scared I was going to get in trouble at work. Because, I wanted to be free with my mouth and I didn't feel like I could. That's been a constant theme and struggle in my life that I've felt that I had to be careful for retaliation. And I think finally at this big age, I am not going to anymore. Like I'm saying all the things. And if you don't I stand 10 toes down. I realized this recently when, again, it feels like I'm in a bit of a hot water because of things I've said on this podcast. But I'm like, fuck it. I stand 10 toes down. Show me where I'm wrong. And if you can show me where I'm wrong and explain it to me, articulate it to me where I'm wrong, where I have really agreed, I will atone.
You're using these SAT words. Go ahead.
But I can't stand you.
But you love me.
I do. I do love you a lot. But if you can't show me I'm wrong, you can get the fuck out my face.
Okay. Understood.
That's the energy I'm coming with.
Okay.
Because there are things that need to be said, and there are people who need to be held accountable in these fuckboy of companies. And I'm going to call it out. We're going to call it out. We're going to talk about it. I'm even going to have more guests on the show. We're going to talk about more of the shit my clients are going through at these different companies and organizations. And again, it's not just corporate.
Right. It's any
place you go.
People is an organization. And there will be some level of turmoil. Like, I don't know why human nature is what it is. And you talk about celebration. Like in most workplaces, there really isn't a true culture of celebration. Like they might have the performative, recognition programs and things like that. But it's usually, what have you done for me lately? Doesn't matter that I turned around a whole business.
No.
Or doesn't matter that I did this impossible task. What have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
We're not incented to celebrate.
Right. And it ends up being, well, that's what you were supposed to do. So now, what did you do above and beyond that? And
or you get rewarded with more work.
Yes, you get rewarded with more work. And it's crazy.
It is.
And so I think we need to take a step back for ourselves and our own sanity and do that gut check to say, is it me? No, it's not you.
And take inventory of the wins like we're doing here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's professionally definitely again, I think my win is around mind shifts and perspective and really working on the mental because I feel like if I can get my mind to align, then the sleep falls into place, the better eating choices fall into place. The exercise I'm doing, but then what is it? Sleep.
Stress management.
Stress management. So that's the mental. Like
that's a big one.
I stress myself.
I've seen it.
Yeah. So just managing that and getting better at managing that and being better at being self-aware and really honing in on being the person I want to be and not being concerned with who I think I should show up to appease the world. Showing up as the person that makes me feel good about being who I am. I think that is, and it's a journey.
So I'm going to go off the cuff. What do you love the most about your most authentic self?
So my initial reaction is, I'm interviewing. You're the guest. I'm interviewing.
I mean, you told me I could say what I wanted to say.
Yes. Okay, fine. What do I love about my most authentic self? I love the fact that I am funny. I love the fact that I have a good sense of humor. I love the fact that I can bring levity to these things. Like, that's the point of this podcast. Like, it's hard.
It's so hard in these spaces.
Out here. And I mean, and don't get me wrong, this podcast is for Black women unapologetically. But I do recognize in our humanity, so this podcast, I just want us to recognize each other's humanity here. And I recognize everybody's humanity. And I recognize as a human being right now, this shit is hard. Life is lifing in so many ways.
Always.
Small ways, like my friend came to visit me who doesn't have allergies and is sneezing.
These sneezes are taking me out.
So hard.
These sneezes are a lot.
That we concerned about her rib puncturing her lungs on this trip.
I've never encountered anything like that before.
I'm concerned.
I'm deeply concerned.
But I was like, does this happen to you in Atlanta?
I've never, and I'm around her a lot. This has never happened.
Never seen somebody. And she's like, and she's like, this is how I sneeze when I'm sick. And I'm like, are you sick? And she's like, no. And then every time she sneezed, the windows were open. And I'm like, the LA air is attacking you.
Literally. Because that was wild.
I know.
I was screaming.
And I was like, oh my God, it's dangerous. Outside is dangerous.
The world we live in, though, it's a lot.
So we're all going through things. And I recognize my fortune because I go to bed, I don't hear bomb sirens going off.
But that is not the reality for our brothers and sisters.
Listen, I'm not worried about somebody coming into my house, breaking down the door, and having their way with me.
I feel like you're going to go somewhere crazy.
I'm trying
bring
to
it back. Bring it, reel it on in, please. Because I feel in my spirit this was about to go left.
It was.
Stay on the...
See, this is accountability. This is about...
Trying.
So having their way with me or my stuff or whatever and just taking...
I can't. Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to be serious.
No. Let's just use other words. Someone coming in uninvited. Let's keep it at that. Just focus.
Okay. So I don't have to worry about that.
There's a lot of privilege in that.
I get to get in a car and drive on the street and go get donuts.
And the restaurants out here are pretty bomb. Like, and fancy.
Yeah, it's nice.
I enjoyed it.
It's nice, right? But there are people who, this is not their reality. Even people here in Los Angeles, that is not their reality.
Not even
they
close.
are walking with carts and all of their life in a bag, walking on the street, sleeping on the street in these tents on the side of the road under overpass, the highway overpass. Like, it's not lost on me how blessed I am and how far I've come in one generation and two generations. And then the third generation is slavery, right? Like, I'm pretty sure my great-grandmother, I know for sure she was a sharecropper and a cook, but what I don't know is if when she was a child, no. So it was my great-great-grandmother. So her mother was a slave.
But when you think about it, it's not that far removed.
No,
it really isn't.
It's not. It's my great-great-grandmother.
Wow.
It's my grandma's grandma.
Yeah, it's not that far removed.
No. In slavery in Texas.
Yeah.
That's
So you truly are your ancestors' wildest dream.
I mean, my grandma used to talk about how they had a dirt floor. Their house had a dirt floor, and she would sweep the dirt floor every day.
I can't even imagine.
And I'm like, I thought okay.
It's wild.
They ain't had no vacuum. How they do that?
We got Dysons now.
Baby.
That Dyson will get you right.
All the way.
Yeah. Just saying. We can't keep naming these brands and not getting paid.
I know. I got to work on that.
Stop.
I just like things. I like nice things. So it's not lost on me. So I'm very grateful. Very, very grateful for those things. But I think, being my authentic self, what I'm most proudest of is this growth. So I think what I struggle with in it is I want to be a tactful person. Like, I want to have tact. I don't want people to talk to me and be like, that bitch tacky. Like, right? I don't want that. But I do recognize sometimes my sense of humor gets lost on people, right? Like me saying, that bitch tacky, right? Like, that's a joke. Mm-hmm. I don't expect anybody that cares about tact to actually say that. That's the irony. And that's, if you need a joke explained. Anyway, but I also don't want to walk on eggshells.
Yeah.
I feel that I walk on a lot of eggshells because I'm afraid I'm going to offend people. And I'm tired because I get offended all the time. Like, people be offending me all the time. Like, I may not say anything, but I'll be offended. Not by my friends. My friends know me. They don't care. Like, I'm wild and crazy and free. I say whatever the fuck I want around my friends. They're well-versed.
She do.
Yeah. But at work... And not like I want to go cussing like a sailor at work. Like, that's not the point.
Sometimes it would be liberating, though.
I know, right? Because sometimes it'd be some bullshit.
Oh, every day.
If you could just call bullshit at work, that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
When Susan come talking about, I need this by end of day. Bullshit. That's your problem.
EOD is end of December, though. That's what they say on the TikTok.
Exactly.
On the TikTok. That's what I heard.
You talking about, now how long you knew you needed that at the end of today? And you just telling me at 3:30 in that PM.
End of decade. We can keep going.
Listen.
No.
End of my death. How about that? Kiss my black ass. I mean, and so, again, can't say stuff like that. That's not nice. And I don't want to not be nice. I want to be a nice person. I'm a kind person. I'm a nice person. Well, I'm not always nice, but I'm a good person. And I think I even have trouble with this whole nice concept of nice because we lived in Minnesota.
Yeah, that's
because that shit was not nice.
It's just passive aggressive.
I don't like it. There's no passive to my aggression. So I just want to be myself. I want to be free, and I crave for people just to understand me. But I recognize now that I am not going to be understood in this world.
Yeah,
I'm just different. And growing up in this country, there's this force that tells you need to fit in. And now I'm getting comfortable with never fitting in. So
to me, we're talking about wins, right? That's a huge win.
Yeah. Shout out to therapy.
Look.
Amen.
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
It's work.
Yeah.
It's work to get there.
Yeah, I cry a lot. Work. I cry a lot in therapy.
I thought you were a thug.
They be thug tears. It be a lot of them, though. It don't be one thug
There's
tear.
No such thing as thug tears. Thug
It'd be
tear.
like a
singular. So you're not a thug.
It's like a thug tear river.
No, that's not how that works.
It flows heavy.
No, a thug tear is one singular tear.
It flows.
Then you're not a thug.
But I was raised by two thugs.
I can't confirm nor deny that.
No, you have to take my word for it. Do you feel like you get to be your authentic self?
That's a complex question, Felicia. At work or in general?
At work.
I would say where I'm at now, I get to be more of my authentic self, but never fully authentic. And it's not that I'm trying to be disingenuous, but I do feel the need to operate in certain ways to keep the job. I don't know, just keeping it real. Now, I would say compared to my 20 or even 30-year-old self, I am more unapologetic, but there's still a level of performance that's involved with work, right? Like, I don't go in and if they ask me what I did for the weekend, I went to LA and hung out with friends and we went out to dinner. I'm not going to give you like the litany of details. In fact, what I'll do is probably ask you more questions about yourself because people love to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that I do hold back for me.
Yeah.
And unapologetically so.
Yes,
I'm here
as you
to
should.
work.
Yeah, I'm not here to let you live vicariously through my fabulous life with my fabulous friends. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I wouldn't even say that much information. I'd be like, I took a little time for myself, had fun with my friends this weekend. It was great. That's it. That's all you getting. You ain't gonna get I got on a plane. You ain't gonna know I was in another city. Like, you ain't gonna know none of that. Ain't your business.
That's fair, right?
Yeah. But what I will do is show up to the office party and listen to them tell all their business.
Yes.
Now I'm going to do that. Or that chit chat before the meeting start.
That stuff matters.
I'm going to let them like, what did you do? I'm going to quickly turn it on them.
Yeah. You just have to, the art of engaging.
Yeah. And I'm going to ask them about their little Rugrat kids or their little husband or wife or whatever they done told me before. I'm going to get them talking about them every time.
My rule is you should share or divulge what you're comfortable with. Like, I don't think you should ever feel coerced to share more than you're comfortable with because it's none of their business. So that's kind of like the rule that I live by.
I live by Google yourself. That's my rule. What comes up in Google? Those are the topics and things you can discuss. Why? Because they're already out there. So you can't hide it.
My Google presence is dismal, but I like it that way.
Yeah.
I like to be incognito.
So, for example, and you want to find things that seem intimate and personal. So, for example, my mom died. Well, if you Google me, her obituary online comes up. My grandma's comes up. My grandpa's comes up. So guess what I talk about? When we're sharing, right? I was raised by my mom and my grandma. They were my world. They've passed away.
Because what's sad is anything you say in these work environments can and will be used
against you.
And so that's when you talk about
maybe in the court of law.
But I think it's knowing that fact, right? About things can be used or twisted some way against you is why I'm a little bit on the cautious side in terms of not giving them all of Tiffany Samuels. And also at the end of the day, I want to keep that for my family and friends.
Absolutely. When we get back from the break, we're going to wrap up the show planning for 2024 when we come back. Hey there, travel enthusiasts. Are you tired of struggling to find hair and skincare products that cater to your unique needs while on the go? Look no further than blacktravelbox.com. Black Travel Box is your one-stop shop for travel-sized natural hair and skincare products, specifically curated for Black travelers. No more settling for generic products that don't work for your hair type or skin tone. Whether you're jet setting to a tropical island or embarking on a cross-country road trip, Black Travel Box has you covered with their convenient and TSA-approved travel kits. Plus, by supporting Black Travel Box, you're not just getting high-quality products, but you're also supporting a Black-owned business that is dedicated to promoting inclusivity in the travel industry. So, travel in confidence, style, and grace with Black Travel Box. Visit blacktravelbox.com now and get ready to slay your next trip. Don't let your beauty routine suffer while you explore the world. And hey guys, let me tell you, Black Travel Box products are amazing, especially that body butter. Listen, I got a promo code for you. Use the code JETSET. That's JETSET, all caps, JETSET. And you can get a discount from Black Travel Box because of who? The Trill MBA. Happy travels, beautiful people. Now, let's get back to the show. All right, guys, we're back. Get your Black Travel Box. I love their products. Speaking of 2024, what is the most important thing that you need to work on or do or prepare for, think about in 2024 for your career? Most important thing.
I don't know. I think the thing that's most important for me is really a twofer because it's going to serve my life and serve my career. And I think it's just taking care of me. It's going back to those 4 fundamental things: the sleep hygiene, eating right, stress management, moving my body, because I fundamentally believe if that foundation is right, I'll be able to think with more clarity in terms of how I approach my career, how I built those relationship walls, how I sustain for the long run. Because let me insert as many cliches as I can. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And I'm trying to iterate to great every day. And so I need to have the foundation right. But no, all jokes aside, and I've started that journey in 2023. But I think the most important thing for me in 2024 is continuing that. And like I said, it'll serve me well, not just career, but my life in general.
Have you identified your source of stress?
Besides work.
Nigga.
Well, I do think work is probably the number one contributor to my stress. Yeah. Because I don't have children. I don't have some man or husband stressing me out. This isn't a dating site, but I mean...
About 35% of my audience is men. So any
shout out to the men.
Single guys out there. Tiffany Samuels. She's on LinkedIn. She's connected to me. So
look, I don't want it going down in my LinkedIn DMs, though. I want to keep that professional.
But it goes down in all the DMs.
I know, but I want to keep LinkedIn...
Why?
Professional.
Why?
Because
why?
I feel like that's another episode.
Okay. I'm going to put a poll up on Spotify for this episode.
Yeah.
Are LinkedIn DMs fair game for romantic pursuits as well as professional pursuits or not?
I don't love it personally.
A DM is a DM to me. Like, listen, if you are willing to...
But there's so many other places.
Love me as me, and you want to shoot your shot in the DMs of LinkedIn, I'm okay with that. Just make it very clear that what you're doing. Like, just be like, hey, I heard your podcast, and you said connect with you on LinkedIn. I think you pretty.
That would be the clever way to do it.
Yeah. I think you're pretty and funny and smart. And I'm willing to come to LA or Houston or Atlanta.
Or
because at any given time, well, I don't really go to New York till summertime.
Okay.
But at any given time, I'm in
or
one
Chicago.
of those three places. I'm only in Chicago between end of May and the end of September. Outside of that window, you can't catch me in Chicago.
I mean...
And I love summertime shop.
Shout out to Chicago. Still to this day, one of my favorite cities.
Chicago's like my boo thing.
Yeah, it's a great city. Great people. Great food.
Yeah. All my people's there. New York, I ain't been to New York in a minute.
You should go.
I have to. I gotta visit friends. And I need to call my friend Stacy. I'm trifling.
Yeah, Stacy. Shout out to Stacy.
Yeah,
She's
shout out
people.
Stacy Frazier.
Good people.
Yeah, I got to get to New York at some point. I want to do comedy in New York. I'm going to start doing more stand-up this year.
Is that the most important thing?
No, it's not. The most important thing is getting sponsors for this podcast.
Okay. Look. Again, somebody, do you have a connect at Costco? Like, what are we doing?
I don't think I have to search my LinkedIn. Any of y'all work at Costco? Hit me up.
Right. As much money as I spend there. My goodness. It's
sometimes I look at my refund check and I'm like, this only what, 1%? I'm like, dang.
Yeah, it's getting obscene for me. Like, I need to cut it out in 2024.
I could go do some real shopping.
Yeah.
With the rebate check.
You got the executive membership?
You know
and the credit card?
You know
Girl.
This. Yeah.
Shout out to Costco.
Shout out to Costco. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode as much as we're enjoying this episode because this is what we do. I hear you on the foundations, and I too am focused on that too, especially as I'm going through perimenopause. Sometimes I just feel wacky, loopy even, and I know it's because I've stressed myself out and then the hormones are all over the place. I haven't slept, and it just becomes this never-ending cycle, and I really have to force myself to sleep. I struggle with eating, so I have to make sure I'm eating my meals. I don't know, I look like I don't struggle with.
Stop it.
I look healthy. But I struggle with food restriction, so I have to work on that, all the therapy. So those are things I'm going to work on. But I think the most important thing for 2024 for me is growing the podcast. Like, I really am committed. It's going to be season 8.
Wow.
I
That's
right?
just wild.
8 years, the beginning of 8 years. It's a new season. And so we are really going to focus on video.
Okay.
Which is why we have the studio.
I love this.
So I'll be spending a little bit of more time in LA recording and getting episodes out, which is why we need y'all to fill out the survey.
We're going to fill out the survey, Felicia. We're going to fill it out.
I'm just saying. And so the most important thing is growth and growing our audience and reaching more people and helping more people.
I love that.
With their career journey. Yeah. And then I am going to make a real effort.
You're going to have witnesses, me and all your listeners.
To try to date.
She's gonna start dating. Did you just say date? Did you hear what she just said? I couldn't hear.
Could you please say that for the people in the back?
I'm going to make a real effort to try to date so that I have balance in my life.
For you. I love that.
Because I do want a life partner.
Yeah.
And every woman has their preferences, right? I have my preferences. But what I find is that when I do meet somebody that's the physical preference that I like, they're not that smart.
Not too much going on up here.
No. It's bad out there.
You know, I just had this revelation as you were talking, and for me as well, like when it comes to dating, it's so easy to say things like the dating pool has pee in it, which it does, or
A little bit.
you can't find any good men or you can't find any good women, and all these narratives. But words do have creative power. So I'm going to challenge myself to speak more life into that part of my life instead of all the negative. But it is hard. Like there are certain groups on social media that I follow that talk about these horror stories of online dating, and I'm like, it's pure entertainment for me, but subconsciously it's making me just not want to participate in any of it.
You know what's so funny? I really believe in confirmation bias. So confirmation bias is the idea that whatever you believe, you see, and it recycles to you. So if you believe there's pee in the pool, then when you look in the pool, all you see is pee. Or like when you get a new car. So confirmation bias happens naturally. So if you buy a new car, and let's say you have a red Honda Accord, because I have a red Honda Accord. So when I first got my car, I saw that car everywhere. And like literally the day before, I never saw that car on the road. Now, does that mean that all of a sudden a bunch of people went out and bought the same car that I did on that day? No. It's the car I had was a gray Honda Accord, which I would see all the time. And then when I got a red one, I see red ones all the time. But it's a familiarity in your mind. So it's like you manifest all these cars, but in actuality, you kind of did because you have now the visual of your car. And so now you can see the others. So reality is kind of trippy, right? Because the reality is whatever you believe is your reality.
Yeah, self-fulfilling prophecies.
Yes.
Every day.
So if you believe there's all this piss in the pool and you can't get in the water, then you'll never get in the water. I truly believe, because I keep seeing in some of those same groups, there's these women that go in there and say, have you dated this dude? There's been so many times I've gone on there recently and I've seen people be like, no, go for it, girl. Good luck. Let us know. We wish you well. And I've seen that a number of times. So, I know the other stuff is on there, but recently I've just been fed these good things. And I'm like, okay, like
there's hope.
Yeah. And I've been more hopeful about dating because I've also seen just some really good dudes in the wild. They're not mine, but like they exist.
That's right.
You have to start there. You have to like, good dudes exist. And then also, you can't be watching these podcast bros because they will have you fucked up.
It's a lot of them.
I'm like, do y'all not have any real jobs?
Right. It's a lot.
Y'all just somewhere
they can
yapping your gums, talking.
They can talk.
And I'm also getting more comfortable in my own skin. And I've been working on my self-esteem. A lot of people, they see me and they're like, oh, you do this podcast and you out, you doing your thing. So you must be like super confident.
I would think that.
Yeah, no. I'm also a little socially awkward.
Oh my gosh, you keep saying that and it's killing
When
me
it
softly.
comes to dating, I am.
Okay, maybe for that slither of an instance.
No, it wasn't just that. Go look at my TikTok if you want to know what we're talking about. But it wasn't just that. It was literally like, that's how I am. Like, I become a different Please tell me you've seen this as my friend. You have seen this. It takes Krista to really tell it, but like...
I've seen some hesitation.
It's a lot of hesitation to the point where I don't talk.
But we're releasing that.
Yes, I'm going to release it and also process in therapy and try to... You know, I was kind of mad at my therapist. Because she was like, if you want to get married, go get married. I'm like, it's not that easy.
I mean...
No.
It may not be the right choice, but you can be with somebody.
No, I'm not thirsty. I'm just a little parched.
That's right.
Because here's the deal. And I bring this up because in order to have a really good career, you need a balanced life. Mm-hmm. You cannot center work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't. You get burned out and then you don't do your best work and you're unhappy and you could be making all this money and crying. And that's horrible. How are you going to be boss babe in your bank account and sob babe at home? Like, no.
I'm triggered.
You should be.
Yeah. I mean, that's real. That's real.
Because it's the thing about work. Like, a lot of times people be like, oh, my God, I'm behind. I got so much work to do. I'm so behind. I feel
like you're being shady right now, but...
Every day, I'm behind. The to-do list grows every day. I'm going to go take a nap. And so here's the deal that you got to understand. That's why it's work. That's why you have a job. You're not supposed to catch up. There's no such thing as catch up. How you going to catch up? You have to have work to do for them to pay you. If you finish all the work and they realize, they might think, oh, we don't need her, or they're going to give you more work. So no, be behind. It's fine. Don't let that stress you out. Oh, no, that's actually the most important thing.
Don't let it stress you out.
Don't let it stress you out. That cortisol,
I'm telling you.
Cortisol fucks us up, man.
It does. I love the theme of what you've been saying throughout this episode about, like, it really all starts with the mind. I think it was Joyce Meyer who had the book, Battlefield of the Mind, and I never finished it. But the concept, like, that is where the real battle is. It's in our mind. It's the things that we tell ourselves. It's the stories that we believe.
Yes.
Those negative thoughts, one thing I've learned in therapy is to put them on trial. Like, just because a thought enters your head doesn't mean that you have to accept it as fact. Put that thing on trial.
How do you have a trial in your head?
I mean,
because I saw Perry Mason and I was like...
It was therapist dramatics, right? But I get the point of what they were trying to say.
But
like,
how do you put a thought on trial? Like, if you have a negative thought or a maybe not so kind thought or something that you've been told is true, like, how do you put it on trial? Like, what is your process?
I think just finding the disconfirming evidence, right? So this thought that I have about myself, about a situation that is of the negative, what are all the proof points that prove otherwise? And that's simply that. But it takes a conscious effort to do that.
It does.
Versus letting the thought seed and take root.
So do you believe there's piss in the pool?
I do. However, I believe there's a lot of goodness in the pool too.
Okay.
I believe there's anything you want to find in the pool.
Have you ever peed in the pool?
I don't know how to answer that. What? What? Wait, what is happening? Are we talking metaphorically?
No, I was talking like...
in real life?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure as a small child. Like, what? I'm so confused right now.
I just had to ask.
Why?
I know I peed in the pool as like a 5-year-old for sure.
What does that have to do with...
I guess my thought process was, even I peed in the pool and it was okay. So don't let the pee in the pool discourage you from getting in the pool. That's the story I'm telling myself in 2024.
You could have just said that and we would have been good, for the record. Just always got to do a little extra. Huh? Just a
but
little...
you love me. You love me.
No, I do.
Sprinkle, sprinkle. Have you seen that lady on TikTok? Sprinkle, sprinkle. She really is about, like, she's married. Her husband takes care of her. I call them the soft life bays on the internet.
I aspire.
Listen.
I do.
And she has some points. Like, she's about be your best self, love yourself, don't take BS, right? Like, she's telling people how to avoid the pee in the pool. It's just, you know, sometimes when people are talking about, like, take his money, take his money, take his money, you know, I'm half Nigerian. So part of me is like, yeah. And then the other part, the Jesus right here, is like, is that right, my child? And then, and I get kind of confused because I don't know. I have my own money. I'm not dating for somebody else's money, but I also wouldn't mind it if somebody came and said, hey, I know the first is when the rent is due for the studio. Do you need some help with that? Because I know you're not working right now. I think I'd be very happy. Do you have any questions for me?
If someone can't articulate the most important thing for 2024, what would you recommend for that person?
I recommend you just ask yourself the following. What is my intention, or what is my intended outcome for the end of this year? So for me, my intended outcome is for this podcast to reach 1 million subscribers by the end of the year.
I love it.
And my intended outcome is to have sponsors who believe in the mission of the show and have products or services that I believe in for you guys. That is my intention for 2024. So start with your intention. Make it plain. Yeah. So that's my career intention. I have an intention.
See, you're revving up for foolishness. I see it in your face. No, you are.
No, I promise.
Why did you start laughing then? I knew it. I felt it.
No, I wasn't. I was being good in this moment. Because I was going to the personal. I have an intention to have a boyfriend.
Okay.
Before the end of this year.
I love it. I can't wait to.
And that, you know what's funny? That scares me more than the 1 million subscriber intention.
Matters of the heart are serious.
And I think, okay, let's say I don't hit 1 million subscribers by December 31st, 2024. As long as I tried, I'm okay. I'm proud of myself. I tried, and having that intention is going to get me so much further than not having the intention.
Sure.
So if you have an intention of, I want to get promoted, or I want to roll off into another team, or I want to get a whole nother job, or I want to switch career industries, or whatever you want to do in your career, make the intention, make it clear, make it plain, and you'll be surprised sometimes at how the universe just kind of does its thing and aligns. I mean, you got to tell your New Year's Eve story.
Yeah. Real quick, I was at this gathering with my friend and her friends. And the host is a good host, so they asked us to go around and kind of introduce ourselves, make everybody familial. And I just cracked a joke. I was at a certain employer at the time, and I said, oh, in a year from now, I'm going to quit that job, and then I'm going to move here to Atlanta and work at this other company. And sure enough, a year later, I ended up at said job that I manifested New Year's Eve 2018 going into 2019. But it was a joke. I kid you not. I wasn't really thinking that I was going to do that. Just words. Words have creative power. And I didn't even know at that time just how powerful those words were. But literally, I spoke my current career situation into existence. I'm grateful. It's stressful, but when I pull up, I'm very grateful. I think I'm in a good place, and I'm excited for what 2024 holds.
Yeah. What is your hope for me in 2024 as my bestie?
My hope for you is that you would learn to embrace and even enjoy the journey as much as you fixate and enjoy reaching the destination, right? So when you talk about your goal of, viewership going up to 1 million. I believe you can do that and some. But regardless of the number, I hope that you enjoy the journey now that you have the stated intention. I hope that you learn a lot on the journey. I hope that you learn things that will help someone else in an effort to pay it forward. And I hope and pray that you just connect with some really dope people on the way to 1 million plus.
Thank you, friend. Thank you.
I'm trying to retire and ride your coattails. So I need you to succeed. Because while I am thankful for said current career situation, the soft life is calling, and I need a friend to hit it big. Is it you?
Is there one?
Is there one?
Is there one?
Is there one?
Oh my
I don't know how
God.
many more years I can work. Oh, Lord. Oh, I need a cigarette.
I mean,
okay.
a cigarette?
I don't even smoke.
I know.
I need a cigarette.
Listen, first off, when I am highly profitable,
That's right. I like the word choice there.
there will be a job for you. And you can work remote, but that brain is too good not to be used.
I can use it to support my soft life.
But with what? Whose money?
Yours.
How did it work?
We'll figure it out.
You're gonna have to contribute some kind of way.
Is this a commercial break?
No.
No. Oh, this would be a good time for a commercial.
No, there's
So we
no
can
more
discuss
commercial
this.
breaks. We're wrapping up
So
the
we
show.
can discuss how this works. No. Okay.
You are one of the smartest marketers I know. You think you not gonna help me market this shit?
I feel like your tone.
You said you would work for me.
I would. But my preference is to not work at all. Like, I'm trying to retire. I'm tired. Did you not hear me say earlier? I'm tired. The stress, the sleep. It's a lot. It's a lot for the kid.
Okay, so my biggest hope and wish for you for 2024 is that you take all of your PTO.
Amen. Amen and amen.
Every single last day.
Don't leave one
iota
day
left.
unused. Yeah.
Come December 31st, that's the PTO you had and you used it.
That's right. I received that.
Yeah, because you do work way too much.
Yeah. It's not just the physical work.
Yeah.
It's the mind share that work has, even when you're not working.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part.
How do you turn it off? I don't know.
I don't know if I found effective ways.
I need to find a guest for next year, and we're going to talk about that, like turning, when you have jobs that can consume your whole life. And I find that my clients that are in nonprofit, it really impacts them because
I could see that.
they're doing work that helps a population. It's mission-driven work. And so they feel like this obligation and duty. And I'm like, girl, it's still just a job.
I think you should totally do that episode.
Yeah, we got to do that. We have to, because
I think that would be needed.
I struggle with that. So I got to find an expert, maybe a therapist.
I love that.
Yeah, we're going to do that. Are there any other shows you'd like to see next year since you haven't filled out the survey?
I mean, I think because I am a newer people leader. Actually, I'm not newer. I'm newer to it at this particular company, but something around people leadership, pitfalls to avoid, that'd be good. Because I know a lot of people aspire to that. But there's another side to being a people leader. Like, it's a blessing in a sense.
Yeah.
It represents elevation and more responsibility, but there's a whole other side of it.
And hopefully more money. Like, if you're leading people, you should make more money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, that'd be interesting. I love the idea of like stress management and the mental load of work, like giving people very tangible strategies for that.
And burnout. I got to have Arena back on the show.
She would be wonderful.
Yeah, because she's been doing a lot of deep work in the burnout space, and she's really become this expert. Like, she really has tools to help people. So I'm going to have Arena. Shout out Arena with Hooky Wellness. Arena Sargent. I was about to call her by her maiden name. That's why I was like, she married. That is not.
And they are the cutest couple.
Yes. Go Kellys.
Woo.
Yeah, my biggest hope is that people really transform their lives next year because of information they found on the show.
I love that.
I want to see more of those episodes. I'm definitely going to have a lot more guests on the show. Really like this. Now, I won't be cutting up with this is the last episode of season 7. So on that note, guys, we're going to get out of here. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you
for doing this. I hope the listeners have half as much fun.
Or they probably
listening
think
to
we're
this.
crazy and need to be committed. One or the other. Either they had fun or they think we're really crazy.
I want to wish you guys a very happy new year. I wish you an abundance of health, wealth, joy, peace, love, and ease. I am hoping that you'll continue to grow with me on this journey. Tell your friends, share this podcast. You can find us in the new year on YouTube as well as all of your podcast streaming apps. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can listen to the Trill MBA Show. You can even tell Alexa to play the show for you if you don't want to go look it up. Please share the show. Please take the survey. Get you a best friend. Get you a best friend that will critique you and love you at the same time. All right, guys. If you have a particular problem, concern, you need some help, you want to troubleshoot your situation at work, hit me up at trillmba.com/coaching, and you can schedule a consultation with me, and I can help you wordsmith, help you prep for conversation with HR, all the things to make sure that you're making the right chess moves to move your career along and keep going and fighting a good fight. If you have a general question, concern, comment, email us, ask@trillmba.com. I usually check the mailbox, or if my assistant checks the mailbox, she lets me know that there was a listener that has questions. But give us a couple days because we do have more listeners and I've been getting an uptick in some letters. So I will always get back to you. If I don't get back to you in like a week, bring it back. Send it again. Bring it to the top. Don't be ashamed. Always do that. Always follow up, guys. Okay? Because a lot of times people, they miss things. They get busy. We're human. Give them the benefit of the doubt and just follow up. So again, that's trillmba.com/coaching to schedule time to chat with me, and we'll troubleshoot and workshop your particular situation. Or you can just email us, and if I don't know the answer, I will punt it to somebody who is an expert and may know the answer, like Tiffany here. So
that's very gracious.
I am grateful for each and every one of you who tunes in to this podcast. And thank you for the letters, the love, the support. It has been an amazing ride so far. It's been 7 years and we're just getting started. So Tiffany, you rock as always.
You too, my friend. You rock.
I'm just a mirror.
I'm just a mirror. We could do this all night.
We are. That's what we're about to do. All right, guys. Until next time, keep it trill. The Trill MBA Show is a Fair World Corp LLC production. Executive produced by Felicia and Rose Inuha. Sound design and editing by Chris Mann with Podshaper. Theme music is Kick Push by Ryan Little. Keep it trill every day, y'all.